means we got to get this motherfucking episode underway because it's time to get lit. We done made it to the motherfucking Super Bowl.
But when it comes down to it, statistically, analytically, and unapologetically, these are the two best teams in the NFL. Now let's get into the fun props. Kev, it's a pick 'em. It's 50-50. Heads or tails.
Measurements, plug here, 11 men, passing out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been.
What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. We're breaking down the Super Bowl 57 for y'all boys. We're going to be in Arizona with it. Eagles versus Chiefs. And as always, go down, like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And if you comment down below your picks, your bets, and everything in between. These are your hosts. I'm Paul, Pick 'em, Win 'em, Concha, the sports drunk gambler. And as always, I'm joined with...
You already know, man. It's your boy, Kev. Water boy, boy, man. The big PYE. You feel me? But, Paul, man, it's Super Bowl. And I got my Falcon shot glass with my matching Falcon sweatshirt that I got for $8 because I know how to thrift shop. But my shot glass is empty. So that means we got to get this motherfucking episode underway because it's time to get lit. We done made it to the motherfucking Super Bowl. Niggas, it's too cold. And we got the fucking number one seed versus number one seed. Shit don't get no better than this.
No, 100%. We said it on the picks. We said it on the recaps. We said it on everything far in between. This is literally the best of the best versus the best of the best. We can't, like you couldn't make a better matchup. Yeah, we wish the Bills maybe made it. Maybe we wish the Bengals maybe made it. Maybe we wish the 49ers would have made it. But when it comes down to it, statistically, analytically, and unapologetically, these are the two best teams in the NFL.
Whew. This is about to be a banger. You got the motherfucking Eagles who've been coming out, who came to this season with something to prove. They didn't give a fuck that they had the easiest schedule. They didn't give a fuck that they whooped everybody. The only teams they lost to were fucking divisional teams, damn near. So motherfucking Eagles came through and did their thing. Defense played awesome all year. You got the three-headed monsters back there. The front seven is in every fucking backfield. And then motherfucking you got the fucking offense that went crazy. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, the running game that looked fucking phenomenal every game. And then you got the mighty, mighty Chiefs. You feel me? Big dog Pat Mahomes, motherfucking the jabroni beating, pie eating, motherfucking Travis Kelce. And this offense has banded together all season. This offense that banded together all season to really make something shake, man.
The Kelce Bowl, baby.
Woo!
They even brought the mama. They even brought the mama out.
They ain't bring the mom.
At the Pro Bowl, they had both of them boys there. They brought out Donna Kelce. She brought some cookies, homemade, of course, with her. Like, really? So, like they lean it all the way into it on this is the Kelce Bowl. This is the fucking not only a Super Bowl, but like first time ever, two brothers going against each other. First, youngest quarterback ever in the Super Bowl in Jalen Hurts. And first time ever, two black quarterbacks in the NFL are going against each other in the Super Bowl, and Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. And I know there's a lot of people talking shit on Mahomes and all that shit, but hey, bro, we saw his daddy. We know this is really two black quarterbacks in the NFL going at it. This ain't no Jackson Mahomes TikTok bullshit. This is a real deal spiel African American quarterback culture right here.
The clip from his dad shocked the fuck out of me. I was not ready for that because these are 100% thoroughbred black. Like he's blacker than black. Like that's the homie right there. Like that's Aunt.
Hey, Twitter was saying, not me. Don't come at me. Twitter was saying he was a first round ballot Hall of Fame Newport smoking man. Like they're saying like they're coming in hot, like black mild smoking, so a 40 ounce toting motherfucker. And I was like, That's what I'm saying. Like Patrick Mahomes, like he didn't purposely have this information come out, but now that it has come out, this is arguably the best information to ever come out for Patrick Mahomes. Like
Yeah,
now
this
got a real deal backup for him.
but he done showed his whole family. Like he done showed us. We done seen the brother, we done seen the wife, and we was cringe. But
Yeah,
then,
cringe.
but bro, dad, we were like, oh, bro, the truth. I'm fucking Pat Mahomes.
Oh,
But
Hall of Famer, first ballot.
but I was watching DC and RC today, and they actually stopped to talk the Super Bowl on an MMA podcast, and I was like, see, y'all motherfuckers are lazy. See, we just talk both.
Nah, it's the
But
biggest sport of them all. It's the biggest mamma jamma. It's the biggest show on.
they,
What does the world? What does the world? WWE say the biggest?
the grandest show from all.
This grandest show of them all this weekend.
Yeah, so I respect it definitely, but like they better have this energy for WrestleMania. Fuck niggas.
No, that's true. That's true. Hey,
But
DC's a big wrestling fan, so I think it will be.
I believe it. But they did drop. They did stop and break down for about like 5-10 minutes. You know, them boys take forever to talk everything. But they brought down, they're like, yo, the black fathers, people don't put enough respect on the black, because it's Black History Month too. People don't put enough respect on black fathers that stay in the house. Like, you can help your kid grow. You can help your kid. And I don't know what Pat Mahomes and Jalen Hurts had to go to, especially Jalen Hurts' dad being a coach. So like, I don't know like what type of shit, but like being there for your kids and being there to help them through their sports and all that shit is more powerful than anything. Like DC got offered to go to the Super Bowl, but he said no because his daughter has a national gymnastics tournament that week. Go. And think about it. He probably got asked to go to Australia and said no for the same reason.
Hey, and then Tom Brady, like people were making the speculation, is Tom Brady gonna be brought into the booth for the Super Bowl while Greg Olson's been balling? Nah, came out. Tom Brady will start 2024 in the booth with his $375 million contract, so we will get Greg Olson and the boys in the booth. Greg Olson's been having a hell of a year in the booth, so it's a good team to have in there.
Greg Olson is what we thought Tony Romo was. Like, you feel me?
Nah, Tony Romo, so this crazy. First year, Tony Romo was the truth. People fucked with him. Oh, he's calling plays before it even happens. And then ever since then, he kind of does the never, like, he hasn't like, looked up information. Like, that first year, he probably did all the looking into, all the analytics. Since then, hasn't done it since. And now he just comes in there with the same analytics and shit he's had since year one. So now people are shitting on him like, yo, bro, we don't want to hear the same shit every fucking game.
I heard they had to have an intervention for his ass. They boys told him, like, CBS had to have a sit-down conversation on, like, yo, we got to figure this out.
We're paying you $200 million, bro.
But motherfuckers are coming into the booth. Like, that's crazy. $350 million? How much was Tom Brady's last contract with the Bucks?
He got $375 for 10 years with Fox, and in his last year with the Bucks, I think he was making close to $40 million.
That's insane. And he has Team Brady everything. So like,
the TB12 everything, like all his trainers, all his media, all his
I heard the boys got underwear now.
Hey, even on Twitter, he posted a picture of him half naked and he had nothing but underwear on with his hand covering his crotch area. And he was like, "Did I do it right?" And I can't hate on him because from everything I hear from like former players, anyone that went into the Bucks, not Bucks, but like the Patriots way played with him, everyone says like, yeah, Tom Brady's a guy. Not saying like, oh, he can play ball, he knows how to play ball, but no, like in the locker room, he knows how to have fun. He's a funny ass guy. He's just another guy in the locker room. And like I feel like the last 3 years we've gotten to see that a little bit more every week with his little Instagram videos, him playing the songs in the background while he's posting the people he beat. The little funny comments he has underneath the little other people's posts, all that. Like I can't help but be like, damn, he is funny. Damn, like he is a funny ass guy. Like he is a guy. So like with that post, I was like, damn, like if I had 500 million, that's a post I would make. Like, did I do it right, everyone? And then like shit like so I was like, I can't help but like I like this new Brady. I think I will be a Brady fan for the next like 20 years in the booth.
I have no problem hating on Brady. Like I actually look forward to it. I enjoy it. I think it makes me better, truthfully. So motherfucking fuck Brady. But he did have a hell of a career. They was talking shit. I can't remember who bro was talking shit on Stephen A show. They were saying he's not the best regular season quarterback, not the best Super Bowl quarterback, but like he's a better Super Bowl quarterback. He said he's a better Super Bowl quarterback, but they said he's not the best regular season quarterback. That's Peyton Manning. Not the best Super Bowl quarterback. That's Joe Montana. And I was like, that's cool, but like I will make the same argument that he's a better regular season quarterback than Joe Montana, and he's a better Super Bowl quarterback than motherfucking Peyton Manning. So like, what the fuck mattered when it doesn't matter about being the best? It's about who did it better, and he did it better than anybody we've ever seen. But I did hear a really good point from Stephen A. Smith. I can't remember on whose podcast he was on, but he said he's the GOAT, greatest quarterback ever, best NFL resume you'll ever see. But he's not the greatest in the NFL. And I was like, you're not the greatest athlete ever. And I was just like, I can agree with that and keep it moving. Like, there's no need to go deep into it. I'm like, I could agree with that. He wasn't the athlete. He wasn't known for his speed, his agility, but but you can't. Nobody will ever be able to redo his clutch ability, his vision, and his IQ. Like and then his arm precision and strength at the same time. I can hate him and everything that he stands on, but you gotta face facts like that. Nobody was able to mix those four as well as he did, and he was coachable.
So my only argument with those people, because they are right. Like Joe Montana, if you just take Joe Montana's playoff versus Tom Brady's playoff, and then Peyton Manning's season versus Tom Brady's season, yeah, they had better seasons, but at the end of the day, this man did it for fucking 23 years of it. Versus, we're talking, 6 years, 8 years of Peyton Manning. And the last 2 years, we're talking Peyton Manning getting carried by some of the arguably greatest defenses ever with the Broncos. And then we're talking with Joe Montana, who had, I know Brady had Randy Moss for 1 year. But Joe Montana had Jerry Rice for every year. And then I love when people talk about that, and they're like, he also had Mike Evans, he had Edelman, he had none of them hold a fucking handle torch towards what the fuck Randy Moss is the only one that you can. But even then, Randy Moss is a 1 year investment. It wasn't like he had him for multiple years. And when he had him for that 1 year, we saw what he did. Almost went undefeated. Almost broke the Dolphins' record for the undefeated season. Randy Moss they broke the record for most touchdowns in the season. They broke the record. Right. They were literally like, you see what happens when you give Tom Brady a fucking legitimate top tier guy.
Right. When them fuck niggas scored 50 touchdowns in 2007, you know how insane that is? 50 touchdowns in 2007. Bro, like only 4 people have done it since, and I want to say 2 of them were Pat Mahomes.
So that's to say, yeah, you can argue that but the fact that it's not like Tom Brady's the Andre Miller or John Stockton of the NFL, where he had 20 years of being good to above average, or even just mediocre, where his stats keep adding up. No. Last year, he almost won the MVP over Aaron Rodgers. A lot of people think he should have won it. It's just y'all, the people that are trying to downplay his significance, to me, is just wild, because it's just he did everything since I was born. 98 was when he came in on the Patriots. For 24 years almost now, he has been considered, if not the best quarterback, a top 5 QB in the league. And that's why I think LeBron is the GOAT, because even if you don't think LeBron is the best player in the NBA right now, he's no worse than top 5. And that has been the topic of LeBron since he came in the league. Even if you don't think he's the next up or the greatest, he's, no matter what year he's in, he's a top 3, top 5 guy in the league. And that's what Brady is to me. I'm just not only did he have the longevity, but to have the longevity and be the top of your craft. Because you can have other players have longevity, but they start falling down. They start becoming mediocre, a little below average. Look at Deshaun Jackson. We love Deshaun Jackson, but look at him on the Ravens now. He's not even near Tom Brady's time in the league. But Deshaun Jackson now is like a laughing stock if you sign him to your team. That's what I'm saying. the fact that he didn't have it. He wasn't a better playoff quarterback than Montana, but Montana didn't have 23 years. Montana wasn't 42 years old, still in the playoffs and risking his records and risking his resume at that age. Like, I want to see what Montana would have did at 42 years old, and let's see his playoff stats start lining up with Brady at 40. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you just can't compare these cats. Shout out to Brady. He's ever since he beat the Falcons in the Super Bowl, I have claimed he's the greatest ever. And I will always stand on he's the greatest. Yeah, he might not be the best athlete, but like Randy Moss might be the greatest athlete ever. But when you're talking resume versus resume, I'm not taking him over Jerry Rice. So that's why I think without a doubt Brady is the GOAT. Because yeah, there's little things you can point out. Well, he wasn't better than him than here. He wasn't better than this guy here. He wasn't better than him here. Okay, now take all those guys and put 23 years on the line. Who was better?
I seen a stat that in every decade, his 20s, his 30s, and his 40s,
Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer in any decade. In any decade, he's a Hall of Famer.
Like 3 Super Bowl wins, 20,000, 2 Super Bowl wins, 20,000, and 2 Super Bowl wins, 20,000. And every one of those years, they even showed since Brady was on his 10th year, he's thrown more passing touchdowns from year 10 to his retirement than Dan Marino, who was retired and known for the greatest passer of all time when he retired, threw more passing touchdowns than my man Dan Marino. And that doesn't even count his first 10 years in the league.
Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. Fuck Tom Brady and everything he stands on. But facts is facts, and you got to face it. And the fact that he did it on 2 different teams. Because the Bucs were a laughing stock. Nobody respected the Bucs even slightly. And he turned them into a Super Bowl team first year. Don't get me wrong. Team was loaded. It was cool. But it happens. But nobody talks that Dan Marino got traded and they started Steve Young on his ass.
Oh, you're talking about Joe Montana.
Yeah, Joe Montana got traded. Like, a lot of people don't bring that up. Don't get me wrong. It's politics, business, it was back in the day and stuff like that.
But it was because Steve Young came in and was cooking the year Montana got hurt. And they were like, hold up. We don't have to pay you. We got a backup for half the price.
Imagine though, Jimmy G came in and was cooking. Don't get me wrong, they traded his ass and shit like that. But Tom Brady would have left and he would have went to whatever team. He probably would have went to the 49ers and turned them into a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, like and Peyton Manning, like he went to, like Tom. Like every team that you try to argue with me on, I'm like, put Tom Brady in that same scenario, and he's doing identical numbers, if not maybe a little bit better.
Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne, Tom Brady. Come on, man. I don't even like this guy.
And Dallas Clark. They had like the weapons, right? And then let's go to the Broncos with Demetrius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, like where Manning broke all the records. Aaron Decker, like, and then go to Montana with Jerry Rice. That's why I brought up the Randy Moss situation. Like, he only had Jerry Rice once, and we saw what he did with a Jerry Rice caliber player when he had him 1 year.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we gotta respect it. Don't get me wrong. Fuck him and everything he stands on. I hope TB12 ends. We find out that they've been money laundering, and then what's it called? They end up having shutting everything down. I'm praying on your downfall, but you are the GOAT, and you will be respected.
And I will co-sign Deion Sanders because the people were bringing up with Tom Brady retiring that this is what Deion Sanders was talking about, and I co-sign it. Where yes, there's a Hall of Fame. There's a Hall of Fame where not everybody, but the top class make it. But then there should be a Hall of Fame within the Hall of Fame of like the literally the top 200, literally the one of one that you can never recreate their legacy.
You just made me so hurt because you didn't say it right, dog. You supposed to let him know it's a Hall of Game. That's what my
Hall of Game. That's what I'm saying. Like, it should be like Brady, Manning, Montana, Jerry Rice, Moss, Terrell Owens. Like, there's literally just the top tier of each position in there. And like, I co-signed that. Maybe we'll get into that later on whenever there's some more Hall of Game caliber players after the Aaron Rodgers, the Drew Brees, Big Bens, all these other, Pat Mahomes, these other Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Like, once these other top tier players go, we see how their careers go and everything. Because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these 70s and 60s and 80s ball players that were making it into Hall of Fame, in my opinion, they aren't the same athlete nor as great as like what came after them. So
Facts.
that's my thing on the Hall of Game. Like, yeah, there's a whole bunch of great 60s and 50 ball players, but like, let's be honest, like, they were nowhere near the athlete nowadays ball players are, and these nowadays ball players would fucking torch these back in the day players if they had the chance to. And you can say all the rules you want. I don't give a fuck what rules we're playing. Like, your best player in the 60s was running like a 4.8, 4.9. All right, we're at fucking D linemen running 4.4s nowadays.
Nah, that's real shit, man. But big dog, let's get into this motherfucking game, man.
It's the biggest, grandest stage of them all. It's the motherfucking Super Bowl. When we talk pre-picks on the recap of the conference championships, it was the Chiefs were favored by a point. Now we're sitting at the Eagles favored by a 1.5, over under 51. Eagles are technically the home team. It will be in Arizona. Kev, I'm going to throw it up to you. You are in the lead. You're ahead by a whole point right now. Only thing I can hope for is a tie. Let me know. How do you feel about this game? It got the first ever, youngest quarterback ever in Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl. First ever, both QBs are black in the Super Bowl. How do you feel, Kev? Let me know. These are two great teams, and both teams showcased great offense all year.
I'm genuinely so excited about this game that I had to spend an entire week and a half not thinking about it. I was like, I forgot we were recapping the Super Bowl because I haven't watched a single thing football for the last 2 weeks, because this game is the game that kind of gives you goosebumps. Like, this is the game that's like, yo, I need both these teams to come and show up. I need both these teams to put on their A game, because this will be a fucking banger. This will be a shootout. This will be everything that you motherfucking paid for.
Even the kickoff is different. Like, when people are watching the kickoff for the Super Bowl, like, you remember the kickoff. Like, it's not like it's just like the warm up, and all of a sudden the ball gets kicked, it goes to commercial break immediately. But like, you remember that kickoff.
Now, fun fact: the first ever Super Bowl kickoff I watched was Devin Hester taking that bitch back. I was on my way to church, and I was
against Peyton Manning.
Yep, a Super Bowl was on, and motherfucking, it's always funny when you hear Chuck Pagano tell the story. But first kickoff I've ever watched, motherfucking, Chuck Pagano says everybody was scared to kick it to Devin Hester. I told them boys, I gave a speech like no other, and I told them boys, fuck that, we don't fear him. We'll kick it straight to him first one. And then this motherfucker takes it back for 106 yards, and they're like, yo, what?
Who the fuck said to kick it to him? Who the fuck said that?
He said, what idiot thought to kick it to him, bro? Don't kick it to him at all ever again.
Kick that bitch out of bounds. Put him on the 40.
No, immediately. Like, that's insane. But that's my thing. And I'm expecting these same fireworks from this game. I'm really hoping both these teams show up. But it's NFL. You never know what the fuck can happen. And the Eagles have a crazy raw defense. But the Chiefs are beat up, and they're playing with some banged up. They're missing a couple. I don't know if they're missing a couple key guys, but there are a lot of motherfuckers that got hurt those last two games. So, like, it'd be nice for them to see. We'll see what a week off can do.
They had 2 weeks off almost, though.
We'll see. I know Pat Mahomes is gonna be a lot better on that ankle, because he's a trooper. He's a gangster. But we'll see how this team looks. And then we got the motherfucking Eagles, who I think we're giving a little too much credit, because at the moment, just off the fact that 49ers game, like, a lot of things had to happen, and like, it wasn't until those things happened that they looked comfortable and was in the lead and fucking shit up. Like, they didn't. So there's pros and there's cons to both teams. But the pros, you got Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, they've been here before. Andy Reid, the mindset. You know, he's been watching plays from the 30s. You know, he's been with you. He got some shit queued up. Nick Sirianni. There was a point in time that motherfucker was asking for his head. It wasn't wrong. But
postseason schedule, they had to go through the Jaguars 27-20, where Patrick Mahomes did get the ankle injury. And then they beat Bengals 23-20. And then now here they are. And the Eagles had to face the Giants, where they blew them out. And then they blew out the 49ers with a hurt quarterback problem going on. So it's kind of like, whose schedule do you think was tougher? Do you think the Jags-Bengals were tougher? Or do you think the Giants versus the hurt 49ers was tougher?
I think the Jags-Bengals was tougher. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think that shit was like the same impact, because I think the Eagles blowing them boys out was proof. Like, okay, the fact that all those games were close was like, oh, this team needs to figure something out. They need to stop playing these close ass games.
See, with this game also, this is such a weird game because I could see so many game scripts. I could see the Chiefs coming out and running the ball a lot early to kind of kill the Eagles in their fast paced type of offense and fast paced like all around, like kind of make the game longer than what it usually is for them. But then at the same time, I could see the Eagles defense is kind of taking care of everything because Patrick Mahomes is on one leg. Maybe like it's kind of hard to tell because we haven't seen much of Mahomes leading up. Like we know he has 2 weeks to get ready for this game, 2 weeks to get his ankle right. So yeah, everyone's thinking that he's gonna be a lot better, but it's all like you never know how injuries go. It could be a worse injury than what anyone thinks it is, and they're just talking about it real good. So that's what makes this game real interesting to me because like if the Chiefs had Mahomes at 100%, I really think this is a 50-50 game. Me personally, I do think Mahomes maybe is a little bit more injured than what he wants to tell everybody and everything. And that's why I think the Eagles have a slight edge on everything. They're more healthy. I think also the defense is a lot better than what the Chiefs defense is. And the offense maybe is not as good as the Chiefs as like explosive wise, but when it comes to methodical offense, being able to score 7 to 3 points every drive, I think it's very comparable. And
I respect it.
Yeah, so this game is very interesting because like maybe Mahomes comes out and is not hurt, and we're seeing a fucking shootout back and forth. But also, what if he like I don't know how to really break this down because it's been 2 weeks almost now since we talked about Mahomes' injury, and 2 weeks is a long time to be able to get right. And the only people that know if you're right are your teammates and your coach, and they're not going to share it with the world.
That's real as fuck. My biggest takeaway, when it came to matchups and stylistically, I think this game was so nice. But I also remember that the Chiefs played the 49ers earlier this year. They've seen good defenses. They played the Broncos twice. Like
they beat the fuck out of the 49ers earlier this year too.
Yeah, so like they've seen good defenses and they still put up almost 30. So that's what makes me think, okay, this Chiefs team has something tied up. They've been here before. They understand there is no Super Bowl jitters. They're mad they weren't here last year. You got Pat Mo. We're not even gonna talk about why they didn't go last year. But motherfucking, so I think this Chiefs team has an edge on this motherfucking Eagles team, even though it may not look like it. Like they've really been battered and they're tested. They show what happens when they play with their food. They've learned.
They think their first time around the Super Bowl. Everyone on the team has probably been there before, except for a few.
Like except Juju. But this is that chocolate cake moment. This is where you pull out that. This is when you get a big piece of cake and you eat the fuck out of that motherfucker, like Andy Reid would say. Like this is that chocolate cake moment, and they got it. So I'm taking the motherfucking Chiefs, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm taking like if anyone couldn't tell by how how I was talking before, like everything is making me lean towards the Eagles here. So like I had my bets in the earlier NFC team will win the Super Bowl. I told everyone to take it at plus 110, plus 105, and now it's sitting at like the Eagles are favored by 1.5 at minus 120 or whatever, minus 125. So I was like, if y'all would have listened to me, y'all would have got the Eagles money line at plus whatever, plus whatever it is. Because like that's why I said I think the NFC is the better team all around this year. Because I'm not gonna say it's gonna be similar to the Bucs versus the Chiefs, but to me, it lines up very similarly. Do the Chiefs have a great offense? Yes. Did they have a great offense against the Bucs? Of course they did. But defensive wise, the Bucs defense was the best in that season, and they took care of the Chiefs handily in the Super Bowl. And the Chiefs are on pace. Like they could literally break the 1972 or whatever, 1970, whatever, the Walter Payton Bears, the Bears. When you talk about Bears, we're talking about that one season the Bears won the Super Bowl and had all those records. So we're talking about that, the Bears. And the Eagles are on pace to break their record for sacks in a season. Like every game, they've gone like 7 to 6 sacks in this postseason, leading up to the postseason. So like they're a complete all-around unit. And that's why I think the Eagles will win. Because like even if Jalen Hurts and them struggle for the first game, I don't think they will. But let's just say they struggle the first couple drives. their defense will make sure that this is not going to be a blowout. Like, you're not going to have to come back from 17-0. Like, this will be a close game nonetheless. And I just think the Eagles, like Sirianni and everything, and then shout out that boy Dre. Dre said since like week 4, the moment we found out Sham was going to have another kid, Dre pointed out, this is going to be the Eagles season. Last time Sham had a kid was when the Eagles won it all. And since then, especially on the 49ers game when like the universe sniped out their quarterbacks right in front of our eyes, I was like, this is the universe wanting Sham to continue his resume. Like, I was just like, there's no other way quarterbacks are dropping like flies. Like literally, you come in, get hit, and now you're out of the game. I was like, this is the universe setting up for Sham to have a back-to-back Super Bowl winning chop. So ever since then, I've been riding hard. I'm like, yeah, this is it for the Chiefs. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if like the Eagles go up 10-0, and then like they're just kicking field goals, and the Chiefs are playing like comeback ball, and the Eagles' defense is just too good.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's probably the greatest stat that we have on this that we've had on this motherfucking podcast. That's fire. That boy did have a baby. What young Master Rice was won the week of the NFC Championship, and then was went to the Super Bowl.
It's just a repeat.
I respect it. I don't know though, man. That team also had Doug Peterson.
I would agree with that normally, but Nick Sirianni is a motherfucking guy. Like, if Nick Sirianni didn't come on the Pat McAfee show and play rock, paper, scissors with the Thai version of Nick Sirianni, I would be saying here like, he doesn't know how to take a joke. He's a bitch. But the fact that he went on that show and he was just like, Thai was literally the Pat McAfee version of Nick Sirianni. Like, he was talking to him as Nick Sirianni. Oh, let's have a conversation between Sirianni and Sirianni. And like fucking Ty Sender doing his best impersonation, and then they do rock, paper, scissors. Like, I'm just like, this is a guy. Like, this is like how I talked about Brady earlier. Like, no, he's not just winning games. That's why he's a guy. Like, no, he's able to be in the locker room and he could joke around with these other ball players, and they all can relate to him, and they all can find a joke funny. Like, it doesn't, like, me personally, I've been in a lot of situations where I'm not like, I'm a white person and I don't hang out with a lot of white people. So it's like, I've been in a lot of situations in my life where like I may be the only person of my skin tone in the area, but I never act like it. I never am ever like, I never feel like the white boy amongst other people. So it's like, now that I'm learning that about Sirianni and Tom Brady, I'm just like, okay, I can relate more to them, and I can understand like, oh, Sirianni's a fucking dog. Like, he's not just, oh, this is what I got to do to make sure I look good. It's like, nah, this is what I do every day. And if I happen to look good, I happen to look good. And that's why I just think this Eagles team is a little bit built different. Like, they happen to be the dogs amongst the NFL right now. And we saw it with the Rams last year. We saw it with the Bucks the year before. Teams that happen to invest halfway through the season on star players at certain positions, Robert Williams, the shit like that, like, they tend to look good whenever the Super Bowl comes around because they made those investments. And that's what I see in Jalen Hurts. And then they got the AJ Brown, they got the what's his name, Robert Williams at defensive end. Like, they got these motherfucking dogs on this team. I just don't see how they. And Miles Sanders, no one talked much about him. Everyone's talking about Josh Jacobs and the Raiders, but Miles Sanders was on pace to have the same season as Josh Jacobs. Like, it's just the fact that the Eagles run like a 3 to 4 head running back game, where the Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott, Jalen Hurts, and Miles Sanders. If they just did Miles Sanders getting 30 carries a game, we're maybe talking about Miles Sanders leading the league in rushing yards. So, like, this is the most well-versed team, I think, in the NFL I've seen to make the Super Bowl in a long time. Like, legitimately a long time. Like, they have the passing game. They have the running game. They have the defense. They have the specialty. And, like, every single core aspect, there are top 5 in each aspect. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how they're not a bigger favorite.
Nah. Hey, that boy talked this shit on that one, man. I think it just comes down to heart. It comes down to grit. It comes down to like, yo, we gotta fuck some shit up. Are y'all ready?
It's a Super Bowl for that. All right, Kev. So before we get into the fun bets, because everyone's here, they might be. I know some of y'all motherfuckers still listening got some heads and tails bets, and you don't want to know why that bet's good. So before we get into those fun bets, we made our picks for the game. I'm gonna grow out some 5 prop bets. These are like some are plus, some odds, some are mostly minus 110.
Say less. I'm gonna go pour up my shot.
All right, and I want your opinion on all the bets, Kev. So my first one is Kansas City over 1.5 field goals. And my reason being is I think the Eagles defense is going to be stout, and especially early in the first half, whenever it's 3rd and 9 in the red zone, I expect Harrison Butker to be out to kick these field goals to get the points while we can get them. So over 1.5 field goals, I think is very realistic with the Kansas City Chiefs. Then I got this one plus 120. One of the bigger. I'll save my plus odds for the end. My other minus 110 odds is Mahomes under 297.5 passing yards. Just because I thought 297 is a big ass number. Like you're expecting your quarterback to throw 300 yards in the Super Bowl, and for a quarterback to throw 300 yards in the Super Bowl, 1, you either have to be losing the whole time. 2, you have to abandon your run game. 3, the passing defense have to be complete shit for you to throw 300 yards. So like those 3 things didn't make sense to me. I was like the Eagles pass defense is elite. Then he's not getting 300 yards. The second one is I think they're going to try to run the ball the first half a lot while they could keep the time of possession away from the Eagles. And the other one is like the 297.5 is just a big number. Like 300 yards to be set for somebody's over-under is pretty big.
Yeah.
And my other one is Miles Sanders over 13.5 carries. I think the Eagles are just good. There's a good system, and they know that they like to run the ball. I wouldn't be shocked if he ends the game at only 12 or 11, but I just think they're going to run the ball a lot, especially I think they're going to be winning. And in the 3rd and 4th quarter, they're going to take the ball out the air and run the ball a lot. So I think Sanders gets over the 13.5 carries in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then I don't know my fun bets. I have one more. Hurts under 237.5 passing yards. He could go for 250. I wouldn't be shocked. But I just think there's going to be a run-heavy offense. I just think there's going to be an offense where we see Hurts, Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell, and Miles Sanders all go off for some big runs. And then my fun bets, not even fun bets, but these are my same prop bets that happen to be at plus odds. Under 39.5 longest touchdown. I don't think anyone's going to have a 40-yard plus touchdown in this game. I think if anyone scores, it happens to be within the red zone. It happens to be something short and methodical. I don't see no big 40, 50-yard play for a touchdown here. So I get that at plus 100. And then at plus 120, the time of the first score, under 6 minutes. Both of these offenses, I think, are going to come out quick, get some yards. Both of these defenses are okay with giving up yards, but not giving up a touchdown. So as long as I get a field goal before the first 6 minutes, I'm looking good on that. And it's plus 120.
Respectfully, I respect it.
All right.
I mean, I put a few of them. Well, you're not done yet, are you?
No, I'm done on my normal props. So I'm going to throw it to you real quick on the fun props.
All right, but I fuck with a few. I fuck with all those, especially the Miles Sanders one. But I don't know about the passing yards one because I think it's gonna be a shootout. I think them boys gonna throw that bitch up.
Okay, I respect it. But my question for you is: now we're gonna jump. We left the normal props. Now let's get into the fun props. Kev, it's a pick 'em. It's 50-50. Heads or tails.
Paul, and you know one thing about me, I'd rather cheat than repeat. So, I got to choose tails because tails never fails.
That's what they say. That's what people be saying, bro. Let me see. So they're both saying that minus 105 odds. I will say, personally, I did take the heads bet. It is 11-4 straight up in the last 15 Super Bowls. 11-4, 5-0 in the last 5 Super Bowls.
Fuck.
I do, but also as a person that hears those bets, I'm also somebody, I usually will take the tails bet on that because if you're telling me it's 5-0 in the last 5, odds are saying it's probably going to go the other way eventually. It's like if you see red 5 times in a row at the roulette table, you're expecting black to be very soon.
Yeah.
So that's like heads has been 5-0 in the last 5 years. So like I can understand when they hear that some people might argue like, oh, tails is due.
Yeah, tails is due. This is gonna be a tails never fails as week.
I'm rocking the heads here. And I will say, because I took the Eagles, you took the Chiefs, we may end in a tie. So I'm happy we're split because honestly, I think that may be our 50-50 split. If we end on the same picks, we'll just let it ride on who had the right heads or tails bet.
There you go. But here's that's funny as fuck. But here's my thing, right? Dang, that's actually crazy. But my thing, I actually have a bet. I got a really good one.
All right, let me hear. I got a lot of bets in for the fun one.
So I was watching the DC and RC podcast. I don't know when they recorded that, but if you were to choose the Chiefs as an underdog and Volkanovski as an underdog against Islam this weekend, so Saturday and Sunday,
okay,
you can bet $100 to win $850.
See, I would agree with that, but Islam's gonna win. So like, I don't know what the fuck. Like, why would you throw money into the win betting on Volkanovski?
Well, this ain't the MMA podcast, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Calling my dog short and shit. Don't worry, we got something for that. Australia.
I'm giving out a plus 850 odds right there. That's plus 850. Bet 100 to win 850. That's plus 850 on the odds. I do not have anything that big of an odds since he came out with he got to show off his slong early. I guess I can come out early with it. I'm gonna give out plus 750. That's my biggest odds.
Yeah.
Eagles to win. AJ Brown and Isaiah Pacheco to score a touchdown. Plus 750.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'll get the AJ Brown being the star of the Eagles, and I think Isaiah Pacheco has a good possibility to score a touchdown, especially early for the Chiefs.
Hasn't he scored a touchdown like the last 4 or 5 or some shit like that?
Not last game because they got called back, but he has been on that streak, and he's been the number 1 running back for sure.
Yeah, they're gonna throw it, and you could throw it to him. It doesn't have to be a Russian.
And then I got some other fun ones. Like I said, heads minus 105. Give me that. Jalen Hurts or Miles Sanders to be the first touchdown of the game. Or is it first? Yeah, first touchdown of the game, plus 400. Jalen Hurts or Miles Sanders. I think it's going to be a rushing touchdown, and I think those are your 2 threats. Then I got Rihanna's first song for the halftime show, plus 450. Kev, you already know what my Rihanna song is. Plus 450, give me the Diamonds.
Oh.
Give me Diamonds to be the first song. Shine bright like a diamond.
I already got that. Work.
Hey, work was sitting at like plus 600. Work was the bigger odd. The number I can tell you the favorite towards the end. I'll let you know what the favorites are. And then plus 140. ASAP Rocky to appear on the stage for the halftime show.
I'm shook as fuck.
Give me those odds. You had Drake and Jay-Z sitting at better odds, and I feel like A$AP Rocky now being the father of the child, A$AP Rocky being another rapper himself. They have songs together. I just feel like this is a perfect stage for them to be up there together, showcasing like new life. I just think he'll be on the stage. Plus, at plus 140, give me those odds.
Who gonna watch the baby?
Hey, but they got the money for that. Then I got opening kickoff to not be a touchback, plus 120.
Oh, that's a good one.
For it to be a touchback, it's sitting at like minus 160. But the championship games, neither one was a touchback. Both of them were returned. And Pat McAfee did let me know on his show that the ball that gets kicked off in the NFL for the Super Bowl is a brand new football. It's brand unwrapped everything, put onto the tee for you to kick off. So it has never been broken in. It's a very awkward ball. I could definitely see this kickoff being a little bit short, forcing them to return it. And so, like with knowing that little inside part of it at plus 120, give me it to be a return because every Super Bowl is a brand new ball. You kick it once, and that ball goes to the Hall of Fame. So no one ever gets a good kick on that ball because it's never been broken in. So knowing that from Pat McAfee, give me the plus 120 yards that would be returned.
I forgot Pat McAfee was a punter for a second. I was like, wait a minute. Pat McAfee was the nigga that was the person that kicked it to
rookie year. He wasn't just a punter, he was a kicker.
So he's the one that kicked it to Devin Hester?
Rookie year, that was his kick, yes.
That's crazy.
So that's why him telling me that with like no like hearing those back things, I was like, I think that would be a good bet, plus 120. Give me the underdog odds on that because like it's a brand new ball. Like this ball, he may kick it and that shit may be 10 yards short.
What episode did they say that on? I gotta watch that.
And it was like a month ago, but I just kind of I was okay. Bet like my betting brain took that into note. It was like I'll never forget that when I come to bet those Super Bowl odds. Then I got Kenneth Gainwell over 50 yards rushing and receiving combined at plus 150. They started using Kenneth Gainwell a lot more in this playoffs, and I just think it's gonna be I just see this game being a lot of run. I see the Eagles getting the ball, trying to run it a lot, and I see the Chiefs first half trying to run the ball a lot. So I went a lot with like running props with this one. And like one of the other things I took was Eagles to win minus 1.5. Give me the spread and under 51. Get plus 300 odds. I think the Eagles win, and I don't think it's gonna be. You think it's gonna be a shootout? I think it's gonna be a lot of like good defenses, and I don't think 51 is gonna go. I give me the under 51 plus the Eagles minus 1.5 plus 300 odds.
If one team scores 30, all they need is another one to score 21.
See, I wouldn't be shocked if the Eagles win like 31-17 even. Now, I just think the Eagles are just that much better of a team all around. It's all opinion based, though. It's all opinion based. Everyone's pick is right until that ball gets kicked off.
Facts. Motherfucking what's it called? My dog Devin's he's from Kansas City, so I'm finna show him this clip he's saying that. I'm like, yeah, hey, don't worry, Devin. We finna bust their ass. Ain't that right? We gonna bust. What them boys say? What them I think it was Amon Shumpert when they was talking about what y'all gonna do to the Warriors. We gonna bust their ass.
Yeah. And I could definitely because Kelsey, you saw what they did when they heard about Burrowhead. You heard what they did when they heard about the mayor coming out talking shit.
Yeah, facts. Nah, the Eagles wasn't talking shit. I know they wasn't shit.
No, they weren't talking shit like that, but they definitely still. You know, the Chiefs are probably carrying over that momentum. Like people are down us. People don't think we're the fucking Chiefs.
But what's rule number one on the podcast, Paul? We fade the Gatorade. You see AJ Brown and Devontae Smith were like, nah, I'm straight. I'm not dropping no Gatorade. That shit heavy. But them boys still dropped it on Sirianni glass. I'm just saying, fade the Gatorade. That should be a prop.
Hey, I co-sign. I definitely would fade the Gatorade, but I might have to add in fade the cheeseburger. I know what to read. Big ass got a cheeseburger after that championship game.
Please don't do it. Please come on.
Even if it was a McDonald's McDouble on the way home, I know he got a fucking cheeseburger before he went home. We got a fade cheeseburger, bro.
Oh man. Boys got cake. They got cake in the locker room. Chocolate cake. He said you get this after you win.
After you win. Well, shit, Kev. This has been the Super Bowl. We giving out. Not only did I give out props, we giving out the heads and tails. We giving out first song of the halftime show. We giving out if ASAP Rocky may or may not be on the fucking field for the halftime show. We even gave out our picks for the game itself. We're gonna save all the postseason talk on if Aaron Rodgers is gonna be a Packer on like Tom Brady did retire. Shout out Tom Brady, but we're gonna save all those talks till after the season. We did also open up with giving Tom Brady his credit, his flowers. So I feel like we did a lot this episode. So like, if y'all don't know, this has been Totally Blitz podcast, and I'm gonna throw it up to my boy Kev Waterboy Savoy, and he's gonna lead it out.
And this is a shot, man. I had to throw it in the Falcons.
I just poured one up too, so perfect.
I got this as a Christmas, my favorite Christmas gift ever. Shout out to Queen. Motherfucking. This is bad. We made it to the motherfucking Super Bowl. We covered every week for motherfuckers. We picked every week. Paul gave you probably over fucking 500 bets this season. Like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, this feels great. We did it. I'm finna put my fucking feet up. I'm so happy about the podcast doing great this year. Us making it through, figuring it out. Paul got a fucking job. I had to go to fucking school. Motherfucking, I got night classes. Motherfucking, I don't be getting home till like 9:30. We're recording this at 10:20 fucking 8 right now. Like, Paul, I have nothing but respect to us, man. Shout out the family for always making it work, man. Even shout out the dog. The dog wasn't even tripping like that this season. Like, bro, shout out everyone. Hey, big ups to Paul. This man literally fucking gets up here and drops fucking 3 to 5 episodes a fucking week. Edits them bitches, makes the graphics, drops everything on time. Bruh, I can fucking cry when I think about the shit that we do. And shout out fucking us, man. We stayed true, man. Shout out anybody fucking watching.
Shout out to the Super Bowl, because this is the grandest stage of them all. But every grand stage starts on a small stage, and that's definitely what we're doing right now. Shout out to Kev, because even though, yes, I'm here and I do the edits and everything, but it does take a co-host to be there for every episode. I wouldn't be able to sit here and make an episode if it was just me and my ugly mug up here by myself. So I shout out to Kev for the football. Shout out Marcus for the boxing.
Shout out Marcus, man.
Yeah, shout out Marcus and his fam, because I know like his fam be missing him when he's not around. So shout out to everybody. It's been a grand year. We're on the grandest stage of them all. Marcus isn't here, but I'm gonna definitely drag his ugly ass to the recap for one episode on the NFL this year.
I don't care. We gotta pull up to his crib and record him.
Yeah, we're gonna have him for at least one recap this year. And if y'all didn't know, like me and Kev, we started last year. We're definitely falling more than this year. We're coming heavy. We got NFL, boxing, MMA/UFC. And we're trying to expand it into your everyday lifestyle and NBA. But those are only to come. You just gotta stay around, stay tuned. If you want that, go down and subscribe, go down and comment, go down and like, because all that shit matters. All that shit is the reason behind us still being here. And that's the reason why some of us be up late as fuck at night, make sure these episodes come out. And the reason why I'll be up late as fuck at night to record these episodes to come out. So we appreciate you. We appreciate you appreciating us being us. And I got my shot. I know Kev got his shot. And to the 2022-2023 season, shout out everybody. Shout out the TVP family. Shout out the Totally Blitz family. And this has been Totally Blitz. You dig?
And we got merch on the way, you dirty bitches.
Cheers to the new year, boys. Super Bowl. We'll see you when the bets cash.
Facts. Hey, tails never fails.
I got a problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me, ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not batting. Then my gang got tools, you can call them boy crap. Man, this gang got rules, man, you better watch your passes. This ain't not new, and see some accent, all I say is true. You better stop your capping, lacking really your ass all in the passing.